Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott bussed about 30 migrants to the Capitol yesterday. Conveniently, by the way, right outside the Fox News studio. So Fox News had a live feed going, showing the bus arriving with these migrants who had crossed the Texas border allegedly illegally. And now they're Joe Biden's problem, Greg Abbott says. And of course, Ted Cruz said all throughout the day on Twitter, like, ha ha, now you've got to deal with what we deal with every day in Texas. Ted Cruz said the millions of people coming across the border, which there's not millions. The people who live actually in those border towns have said on the record in interviews, we don't see what they're saying is happening. The National Guard troops that the state of Texas has spent millions of dollars deploying down at our southern border. You know what they say? We're bored. There's nobody to apprehend. This is a waste of time. Nevertheless, Greg Abbott is using this immigration issue to try to show that, oh my God, things are lawless down here at the border. I've spent millions for this political theater. And now I'm going to send these migrants to D.C., so ha ha ha, I win. Well, no, you didn't. Because here's what really happened. The 30 or so people that they bused to D.C., first and foremost, Texas taxpayers had to pay for that. So you're like, haha, they're not our problem anymore. Nope, you really did already pay for it. So yeah, you screwed over your taxpayers again to do it. Then, of course, it was revealed that all 30 of these individuals volunteered for it. So it's not like you rounded them up as soon as they came across the border and said, get in the bus, you're going to D.C. They actually asked, like, hey, who wants to go to D.C.? We'll pay for it. We'll pay for your bus. We're going to give you food. We're going to give you water. The migrants say they were treated exceptionally well. Like, they loved it. Hey, cool. We get a nice little field trip to Washington, D.C. This is wonderful. And then the best thing happened. When they got to D.C., they were not treated, as we often treat them down at the borders, like animals. They were treated like human beings. Catholic Charities D.C. actually showed up, fed them, gave them clothing if they needed it, offered them a place to stay, and more importantly, gave them tickets to get to wherever it is in the United States they had wanted to go. So the whole thing, even though I'm sure he's going to gain political points for it among Republicans, but the whole thing ultimately did backfire on Greg Abbott. Because these people got to D.C. and were treated like human beings. They weren't treated like their presence was somehow illegal, that their existence was criminal. The people that are supposed to help, right? Catholic Charities, they stepped up and they said, hey, all right, cool, thank you. Let's take care of these people. This is what you guys should be doing down there in Texas. Because here's the other part of it that makes this even more deliciously ironic. These were all asylum seekers. They were allowed to be here. And according to U.S. law, if you come over seeking asylum, I believe it's DHS, they go through the whole thing with you. And then once they go through all that, you're free to go move about all over the United States. You know, you have to check in with Immigration and Customs periodically. And then, of course, you will have your court hearing and they'll determine whether or not you can stay or you have to go. And that's basically the status these people were at. They were allowed to go to D.C. They're allowed to go anywhere in the United States because they had already been processed. Now, they had not been approved yet, as far as I know. So these weren't even illegal people. They were allowed to go to D.C. Some of them are now headed down to Florida where they've got relatives. Like, hey, this is great. We're getting these free trips everywhere. We don't have to hitchhike or try to walk or do whatever. Like, this is wonderful. Thank you, Greg Abbott. This is great. And honestly, that's what we should be doing for these people anyway. They, for once, got treated like humans. And it's all because Greg Abbott was trying to use them as political props. But at the end, he ended up doing them all the favors they could have ever wanted. And these people thus far have had a relatively wonderful experience here in the United States. Great for them. I'm happy. It's what we should be doing. But here's the other thing. There's always another thing. I want emails. I want to know exactly why these people were dropped off right in front of Fox News. I mean, we all know why, but I want to see emails, text messages, and phone call records to see if there was any coordination between the government of the state of Texas and Fox News. I think somebody could FOIA that. I think a really good investigative journalist will be able to find this out relatively quickly, because if there was coordination between the Texas government and Fox News, that is the bigger scandal that we need to talk about. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe to our Ring of Fire channel here.